Pasa mi gente, Tío Lalo here with you today. We are just getting ready to go live with an inlay process. Now we've been doing quite a bit of inlays, and that's the main focus we've been going through lately. I've gone ahead and made this job a little easier on me. You guys, I know that it's kind of, I guess it's kind of cheating. But I have the tools, which is a laser, and a laser sometimes makes it easy to just take care of some background work. So I don't have to sit here and just absolutely shave everything off. So if you can't tell what this is going to be a Doberman. This is my dog, so this is the outline of my dog. So we're going to do silver inlay on the outside, and then he's a red Doberman. So I want to do a copper inlay for him, which we'll take care of later tonight with the laser. Once we've inlaid the silver, then I'm going to go back through, basically laser out all the inside, and then we'll probably hit the copper inlay tomorrow or next week after the weekend. Well, yeah, after the weekend. I've got some stuff going on this weekend, so, or else I would be doing it this weekend. If you guys have questions, if you guys haven't subscribed yet, please feel free to subscribe. I appreciate any likes, comments, positive and negative feedback, as far as just learning. If it's something you can teach me, please teach me. I am open to learning. Now, if you were here for me last live, you found out that I like to use Gorilla Tape. So I use Gorilla Tape to basically hold my stuff onto there, nice and firm. So that's what we'll be doing. This has a nice flat side, so we can gain some good grip. Go ahead and see. It helps if I have a razor next to me, for one. Go. Now this design is a design that I drew up on Procreate. So if you guys use Procreate, very good tool for any engraving, whether it be firearms, jewelry, whatever it might be. It's a good one. Okay, we're set there. Now we've got to create teeth and burrs throughout this in order to lock in the, I've got a bunch of scrap sterling silver, and we're just going to inlay all of that into there. So we're going to have to create some teeth everywhere. This might be a little redundant, a little boring, so I apologize. If you guys have to leave, please feel free to leave. Come back later when we're engraving a little bit more in depth. Okay. You guys don't know, I'm using a 10 power microscope, 10 to 70 power. So I'll be keeping it at 10 power here for the most part. All right. Now for this first part, what we want to do is we want to create the angle, I guess the taper. And so we're going to create this cave right up in there with our graver, and this is, I believe, a I think like a 60-degree graver. This is used more for we use it to do Bellino. So Bellino's like this. We do tiny little scratches, tiny little picks, and it creates shading, and that's what we'll be using this one right here. I'm looking at it under the microscope, and it does look like it needs a little bit of sharpening, so let's shift this over. And if you've heard me before say it, a sharp graver is your friend. If you don't have a sharp graver, you're going to be fighting. You're going to be fighting your graving the whole time. In fact, I'll be totally honest with you guys. The last time we were on here live, I was fighting with my graver a little bit. I was just too lazy to fix it because we were doing just a practice plate. But man, if it was a real piece, I would have 100%. Not liking how this is looking, so we're actually going to take this to the grinding wheel. Give me 20 seconds, guys. So what we're going to do is it doesn't have a perfectly good point. So we're going to go ahead and go point it out real fast. Now, I haven't shown you the machine I use over there, and I'm not going to really show you. That's a little bit more advanced technique. I just recently started it. I'm going to start doing members only videos, and that's really going in depth on a lot of like the sharpening, which I think is personally one of the most important things. And believe me, guys, you don't need to subscribe to me. I get it. Money's tight. There are videos out there that show you how to sharpen them correctly. Probably better videos than I can put out. But if you guys decide to sign up, basically there'll be open forums to talk about art, obviously, and engraving. You know, honestly, maybe I'll learn something from you guys. Okay. Hi, Glad. Thank you. All right. Okay, let's get back to this Doberman. So like I said, we're going to be going through and just chipping away there. So I'm going to use... So I've been using the GRS. It's been great because it is so... I guess it's so powerful, but sometimes that power gets a little overwhelming. So careful when using the Mach AT if you don't know how to use it. Practice. We're actually going to switch over to the Lindsay graver today. So instead of the GRS graver Mach AT, we've got the sweet air graver from Lindsay. So we'll be using that one. And if you guys have heard me in the past, like I actually really like the Lindsay gravers. I legitimately enjoy it, using them a whole ton. It just fits so well in the hand. I do like it better than GRS's fit. With that being said, GRS's machine is definitely more powerful. I will not lie. But I like Lindsay's feel a lot more. We're switching hoses because it's all pneumatically driven. Let's see. I'm going to throw on some synth music, guys, just so we can focus. Guys, if you have to leave, totally understand. But please hit a like. Please subscribe. And all right, we're gonna come at an angle. Make sure you guys can actually see that. I can already tell you our problem, which I'm going to have to resolve before we can go any further. Right now it's doable because I'm doing it, but the problem with this piece of brass is that it is not annealed. I'm going to have to anneal this. As you can see, it's just chipping away, making these tiny little dust particles. That is an annealing problem. So if you guys happen to have that happen with this non-ferrous metal, what you have to end up doing, and you know, just a disclaimer, you could ruin it, is you have to go through and heat it up to it's red hot, all of it's red hot, and then you have to stick it in water to cool it quickly. I'm gonna have to do that right now because that is going to that's gonna drive me nuts. Like it is just chipping away. It's not nice. Give you an idea of what it should look like. Here's this watch. This is what it should do. That right there is what it should do. And that is not doing it. So I'm gonna get my oxyacetylene torch going. I use oxyacetylene to anneal my stuff. If you have a, what is it, a butane torch, I believe, could do it. In fact, I might go just grab my torch. It might be faster than having to get my oxyacetylene out. So we're gonna get that going right now, guys. I'll actually show this one today. So if you guys give me about 30 seconds, we're gonna be, I'm gonna go grab some gloves. We're gonna grab, some water. And I'm gonna grab that torch, and we're gonna get this sucker annealed real fast. We need a cup. guys, I'm back. Got my torch. Got a big thing for water. Actually, the great thing today is that as far as water goes, I've got some dirty water that we're just going to use. All right, I've got my torch. Grab some pliers. All right, guys. Sorry, it's gonna sound muffled because I threw a gas mask on. A respirator. Yeah, you're right, STG. It would work better. I just really don't want to use oxyacetylene right now. I'm kind of lazy with it. I think we should be able to heat it up. If we can't heat it up all the way, guys, then I will go ahead and start getting my setup for oxyacetylene. All right, guys. This should be interesting. Go ahead and see if this works or not. All right, don't worry, that right there is not flammable, so make sure you don't have anything flammable around you. That's the last thing you want. Let's see if this will work. Starting to change some color. It's getting pretty hot, but we're still not red hot. We'll get there shortly. All right, mask is off. Some PPE, guys. Okay, we're back. Let's go ahead and test this annealing and see if this actually worked or not. STG Spermy. You know, they said it was brass, but I'm not sure. No, well, it was definitely hot enough. We're gonna have to fix that. I must have been squeezing a little too tight. We'll fix that. So that's hilarious. I didn't even realize that it got that hot to where I literally, well, that'll be interesting to fix. That's hilarious. So we were obviously hot enough. There's no doubt about that now. But oh my God. Ah, damn it. That's hilarious. Dude, we're gonna have to like thin it out. We'll have to grind it down, thin it out right there, shape it. That is actually hilarious what I just did there. And you guys watched that. That must have got, I mean, we're probably soft enough. Looking at that, we're gonna be soft enough now. But, well, dang, that happens. That's hilarious. Okay, let me take my little neck rig that I've got here. That's actually pretty funny that we just did that. Sometimes I feel like that guy, I'm sure you guys have seen him on the internet. He does all the electrical experimentation, and he's always getting shocked and doing some wild stuff. Sometimes I feel like that because I'm doing this. That's hilarious. God, that makes me so mad, but what can you do? It's what's done is done. So now we fix. So I should have probably put it on a ceramic plate and then just heated it up that way. Probably would have been the better way to do it. But nonetheless, we're on our way, guys. My hope is that it is now. Yeah, I mean, maybe I might peen it once we're inlaid, but I mean, that looks pretty bad. We're probably just going to end up grinding it down up there and just kind of thinning it out. Probably getting a file and just kind of thinning it out that way. But yeah, that's actually hilarious that I just did that on live. So hopefully you guys enjoyed that. So obviously don't do that, guys. Realize that when you're annealing, your metal can get extremely soft. So if you have a way to not do that, it'd be better. All right, let's see if we're annealed. I'm gonna be so pissed if we're not annealed correctly. I'm gonna be so pissed. Let's see. Let's see if. I mean, it is not really annealed correctly. We'll see. Let me see if I can. Yeah, that's wild. We might have to. I might have to take it back and really do it with the oxyacetylene because it is. It's just chipping away. Yeah, that is wild. It's just chipping away. So basically, I dented it for no reason because we're gonna have to use that oxyacetylene. Huh. Yeah, as you can see, guys, it's not really like whenever I dig into it, we'll dig in. It doesn't create the burr that I need it to create. It needs to create a burr because without that burr, we're not gonna. If you notice, when I start hitting it like this, guys, watch. See, it's just chipping. That's not what we want. Yeah, that's not what we want at all. So this needs to be annealed once more. I thought it'd be soft enough. Not sure. I must have not got it hot enough. So what we'll end up doing is I'm going to end up doing the oxyacetylene method here in a second. I think is going to be my best bet to get it to actually anneal correctly. So I'm not going to show that one, guys. I'm still going to be on here. I understand if you guys have to leave. Please subscribe. Please like. Obviously, you can see kind of the shenanigans we do. But this is a learning curve for me, learning curve for you guys. I'm going to keep talking while I'm setting up my oxyacetylene. And it's funny that I use that propane torch because my my oxyacetylene is right here, and I'm gonna end up setting it up just right now while I'm talking to you guys. It's just kind of a pain in the butt. STG's spermy. So I need that burr in order to basically grab onto the softer metal, which is going to be sterling silver. So we'll be doing sterling silver out here, and then we're going to be doing copper where the Doberman is at because it's a red Doberman, and I want that redness. But you need that burr in order to inlay. Let's say I'm just going to use this copper wire. So let's say I inlay this copper wire. That burr needs to grab this. The copper wire needs to essentially get in there into those crevices and pound in, and it acts as a lock. Without that, I can't lock in, and it can be a real issue. It'll just pop out. Okay. I'm gonna grab my mask again. Make sure I'm set up correctly this time. We're not going to cut any corners because I don't want to have to do this again. Oh. Try not to ruin this tape, but I might have to ruin it as well. That's the one thing, I guess, if you use this method that I use here, is once you do this, you kind of ruin that tape and you got to get new tape. Luckily, tape is not super expensive, but it's not the cheapest either. All right, I'm gonna be, give me a minute, guys, because I'm gonna just throw in this mask and get to work with this oxyacetylene. While I'm working, I'll let you guys kind of look at this. This is an inlay I did with an elephant, and that's the same idea. All right. Hopefully that crap show is. Thanks, ACG. Have a good night. Again, guys, hopefully you guys are learning a little bit. There's another one. So with this one, what ended up happening, as I'll point it out, is when we inlaid this, our burrs were too big, were too long. So when I inlaid this copper, the mild steel popped through, and you can see it right here, right here, right here, bunch of different places. And then obviously I didn't burr it correctly right there. So that was an issue. And then with this one actually was a pretty good inlay. I was a little hard and rough with the inlay right here. Other than that, it actually turned out pretty good. All right, if this isn't annealed by now, guys, I don't know what's going to anneal it, I'll be honest. If this is not annealed because of the way I just did it, then I am not sure we're going to anneal it. And then I'm going to have to probably switch it up as far as what the game plan goes for the metal. But that should have annealed it correctly. Should have, keyword. You know what's crazy is I always have I have a lot less viewers when I'm doing something like this versus when I have firearm uppers and stuff like that on here. Not actual firearms, but you know, the other stuff, the pew pew stuff. I have a lot more viewers. But what's crazy is that this actually sets you up for success with all of that if you're going to be doing those things. So let's go ahead and try again. Let's see if I yeah, it's wild. I mean, this metal must not, so whatever this alloy is, and I don't know what kind of brass they made. Granted, I got this for free from some guy in India, so Not sure what alloy they used, but it is not a brass that is going to be very helpful when it comes to inlays. So we're going to have to rethink this real quick. Let me see what I can do with this. I hate to do this to you guys. I did not expect to have a piece of metal like this on the live today. So, because we've got to basically create burrs. Okay. So we might be okay, honestly. So these are the burrs that we have to create, and you know, they tend to break. They're breaking quite a bit, so this will be interesting. This could be a complete and utter failure, guys. I mean, I'm going to be honest. I have not had a deal with this sort of issue. Yeah, see? All of those burrs are just not... they're just not working the way we need to. We're going to switch it up. I'm going to get more power. We're going to go with the GRS because I want more power. I want all the power in the world now, especially since this metal decided to be a punk and punk me out tonight. And this might not end up working for my project here, which sucks. Let's see what we got. I mean, we're gonna have to dig it. This will be I don't know if this is gonna work, guys, but we're gonna try it. We're gonna see if I can lock it in or not. So what might end up happening in order to actually get this to lock in the way we have it already set up, we might keep the Doberman gold, so this color, and then we're probably gonna go through and burr this all out. We're gonna inlay the silver all around, and then the Doberman's still gonna be gold. Then we'll engrave on the outside and stuff, just so we can inlay correctly. Because I have a plan that I think will work when I'm all said and through and done. So again, we're just going to create essentially creating that divot that we need. I'm going to go back to the one we had because we need, I'm going to outline it all. Yeah, this alloy is wild. It's just chip and guys, when I tell you that I annealed this, I mean I got this red hot, waited about 20 seconds. So I don't know if anybody on here knows some metallurgy, but luckily I think this will work. Feel free to ask any questions, guys. If you have questions, please feel free to ask. That that lip to create a locking crevice. So most nights, guys, when you guys see it, see me doing it, this one tonight is the GRS, and I'm actually using the palm. Chris Nieves, so I honestly, this is some sort of brass. I wish I knew exactly what it was. I got it for free with some 1911 grips that came in with me, and the guy from, he was from, not India, he was actually from Pakistan. He sent it to me just for free, so I was like, okay, cool. You know, that looks kind of cool. I'll try to use it and see what I can do with it. And today we're practicing, but if tuned in, then you miss the shenanigans that I just happen to have happen with me. But this thing is not annealed correctly, or it's just not soft. It is super chippy. You can see all the chips right here just chipping off. I'm gonna have to vacuum everything. But for some reason, it's not annealing. So now we are basically trying to create the crevice so that we can go in and pound in some sterling silver. So I think we're pretty close to ready to. Okay. So we've got that creviced out. I'm going to go through with a flat graver. This is another trick you guys can use. You go through with a flat graver and open it up that much more under there. All right, now we go through with a small flat graver. So I'm going to use, I think, I can't even remember. This is like the 1 millimeter, I think, flat graver. And we're going to create a bunch of teeth. We're going to go one way, next way. We're just going to create a lot of varying teeth to make a good locking. Yeah, see guys, so the problem we're going to run into I'm gonna be honest with you guys. You guys might see me lose my ever-loving mind with this thing. I can't believe that. I am not sure why it's not annealed correctly. Why that? It might just be the type of metal they used, how they made it. But I hate that. I hate whatever they made this out of. Let's just say that. All right. Cut some out. Okay. Let's see how this pounds in. I just want to test it out because I don't want to waste our time. If this isn't going to work, then why waste our time, right? Why waste our time? So let's just go right there. We're just gonna try that. Now for today's, I'm just gonna use a stainless steel bit. Now, like I've said, I like to bring it down to about 4. Like I like it super slow. And I like to use the foot for this one. Yeah, I can already tell you it's probably not going to work. These burrs, they're just they're not deep enough. Well, the burrs are deep enough. There's just no burr to lock in. So that's what's wild. Yeah, this isn't going to work, guys. So it sucks. Trial and error. Sucks that I had to find out the hard way. These burrs, let me see if I can see them. There is no burr because every time I go to make a burr, it just chips off. It just chip. What I am going to do in order to save this specific piece is we're just going to go through and we're just going to basically stipple the background. We'll stipple it all out, and we're still going to be able to engrave the design on here. So it's not a total loss. I was just really looking forward to basically creating something beautiful. Try one more thing. I doubt it'll work. I don't even know if I should entertain the offer, but I'm guessing it's not going to work because it's still not soft enough. If it was like 24 karat gold, it might be soft enough, but this is just what's happening is just want to see if I can get it to actually go down into these crevices or not, or if it's a total loss. Yeah, it's just loose. It can't get any grip. Yeah, these are just divots, and it really isn't doing anything. These are just so hard at this point that it just doesn't do jack squat. Okay, so we at least know that ain't gonna work. So we can go through and just stipple. Gosh, bummer, guys. I'm sorry. Sorry it didn't work out. It's the nature of the beast sometimes. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go through and hit it with that pounder we just had and make it look real nice again. Basically just try to pound it all back in. to give it that hammered look. I think it'll make the background look nice. Kind of give it that jeweled look a little bit. Especially that now we know we can't do what we were planning on doing. Well, now we just got to make it look the best we can, right? Work with what I've got. Yeah, after annealing this twice, not getting it to where we want it to, still trying to get it to take. It's just not taking. And I'm going to quit while I'm sort of ahead. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go through with in order to get that same similar look, I'm going to go through and just kind of we're just going to kind of give it that look. Almost done with this background. There we go, looking a little bit better. And then I like to grab my leather lap. Okay, now we're ready to get the transfer the pattern onto here for the Doberman and then some of the engraving on the outside. And let's get engraving because I'm sick and tired of fighting with the stupid background that we had. I'm sure you guys enjoyed that. Okay. Today I'm going to use the laser to just transfer the pattern on, so it'll be pretty quick. It's already set up. All right, set that so you guys can, if you guys have any questions on stuff, I'll be right back. Okay, we've got our outline set up. Let's get hand engraving, guys. Oh, speak of the devil. He's wanting to come in because he's curious as to where I've been, probably. Let's get this down. Somebody go lay down. All right, let's get hand engraving, guys. We are going to be at about 3,300 speed. We're going to be using our normal 120 degree graver. I am under the microscope, 10 power currently. So let's get drawn, guys. We got a pretty good idea of where we're gonna be at. Okay, we're gonna work on these eyes. These eyes are actually gonna go up to about a 20 power to really get in tight. Be able to see where we're at. Just wanna make sure you guys can actually see. The eyes are tiny, so we're gonna be pretty. Got lost there for a second on the. Now this is a pretty simple one. We're not gonna do. A lot of people really like Bellino. We're not gonna do Bellino with him, just because that would take days and hours that we just don't want to put into this piece of metal because it's just brass. If it was something like gold, we could probably take time to really if it was gold, would probably sculpt. This metal is so hard that I cannot imagine sculpting this. this eye is kind of tricky. Veteran FPV, thank you, man. Yeah, just some late night vibes right now. We're just vibing, bro. This is the Graver Mock, by the way, AT. I think that you said yesterday you had this one, so same one. The Veteran FPV, I use both actually. It just depends on. A little bit ago, I was using the hand. I started with foot control, so foot control is very intuitive to me. But I like to learn the hand one too. But where I learned foot, and like my Steve Lindsay graver is also foot, and then I have what's it called, the pulse graver as well, and that one's also hand or foot, not hand. Sorry. It just makes it easy to just keep using foot because I can use it across the board. But not saying that it's better or worse or anything. I like hand. It's just like I said, it's intuitive. How's that looking, guys? A little bit better here and there. We're getting the majority of it done. And when you see me go around the edges, really that's more of a sculpting thing. Just trying to create some depth. And another thing for you guys to look at and do while you're doing like engraving something like this is if you know something is say behind or in front, you create a little bit of shadow. So I went to recently took an art class for comic and character, like caricature making and stuff. And a lot of comic book artists are really good with this kind of stuff. They create lines, like say like right here, like this line itself. As I'm coming up, it's a jaw line, so I know that the neck is behind. So instead of angling it this way, which creates a shadow this way, I would angle it this way and take more off on the neck portion to kind of bulge and create a shadow with just a line itself. Uh, that was something that I learned there at the comic drawing class that I thought immediately could work out really good to learn and use in engraving. The teeth are just kind of jaggedy. If you guys have any questions, like I said, I'm not a master engraver by any means. Got about a year, a little over a year going in engraving. So it is something you can pick up pretty quickly, guys. Don't, if you're just watching, just to kind of learn, it is not something that's like insanely hard to learn by any means. It does take some time and effort. And one of the sad things, I'm making a video right now that I'm gonna put out, so you guys are gonna hear it first. I am no longer taking custom orders at all, like not just for the year, but at all. Came down to what pays the bills, what can't pay the bills, and custom orders just never pay the bills. Doesn't mean that I won't sell my pieces, my art pieces, and things like that. But I wanted to be able to create whatever I want. I want to be able to grow my YouTube and focus a lot on, I guess, these kind of videos, this kind of work, and just focus on this. And like you guys found out tonight, just experiment and, screw up if I have to screw up, and you guys can watch me screw it up. So that way you guys don't do it. As we found out, this piece of metal is not good for inlaying because of whatever metallurgical properties it has. I'm gonna guess it has a high amount of aluminum in it, and it's caused it to. This could be an aluminum alloy, so I'm guessing it's kind of like Nordic gold. Nordic gold is horrendous for engraving. I have a piece of Nordic gold. It's just called Nordic gold. It's not real gold if you guys look it up, but its metallurgical properties suck. It feels like this, and so I'm guessing this is it. If this was brass, I've done brass, and brass tends to be okay and actually engrave okay, and I can. But this stuff just chips. If you guys have been able to tell, it just chips. It's not good. That's not what you want for engraving material. So this is going to go on my do not engrave at all video. I have some coins of the same material. Yeah, they aren't getting engraved by hand. I can tell you that right now. All right, let's see. What am I missing on this puppers? Anything? Just some basic. There it is, guys. All right, for tonight, I think I'm going to call it a night. It's 10:30 here where I'm at. We obviously fought this sucker quite tonight. I like how it's turning out. I'll likely get it quickly sanded tomorrow and slightly polished, and then we'll start engraving the actual scroll work around. I'm gonna address that, which you guys saw happen tonight. I know exactly. We're gonna have to ping it out, like STG was saying. We have to ping it out, and we're probably just gonna have to ping it out, and then maybe clean it up a bit, or I have to sand it down all the way down up there. One way or another, we're gonna have to fix that. That happened while the annealing process was going, and I guess there's no going back after that. So, other than that, this here is Apache. If you guys want to see him, I'll let you guys see him. Since you guys have stayed, whoever stayed here till the end, thank you. Apache. Hey there, bud. Good boy. This is Apache. Sometimes he looks mean, and other days he just looks like a big buffoon, huh, buddy? Good boy. So, all right, guys. Thanks again for tuning in. Until next time, keep drawing, keep engraving, keep creating art. Tio Lalo is out.